So, okay, so you guys get your tickets. You're going to L.A. At this point, do you know you're going to stay with him? Or you guys are just like, all right, we're going. He called and we're going.
Man. Nah, we going, man. That's what we said. We got our truth together. Like, we got the mind together. Like, once you got Buckshot, Tech, Steele, and you got Drew High, you got the minds, and you got the muscle behind the minds, you know. And then at the time we was moving with Buckshot's brother, who was Buck's security. So we took him out there with us because, we didn't know what we was getting into. We didn't know what type of vibe it was going to be. You know, I never met 2Pac before that time. I never hung out with, I don't know if it was going to be, what you see on the videos. You know, we all have a certain sense of conditioning in our mind when we look at these videos and we hear people talk in the press and so on and so forth. So I don't think any of us had any clue what we was going to get into. But being from where we're from, we take chances. We willing to take these chances. I don't think it was like a fear where it was like, wow, what's going to happen? How's it going to, like, man, we got to do this, man. This is like history right here. This is crazy.
Yeah, and the risk was well worth the reward, obviously.
Yeah, man, that was, absolutely. It's just making sure that everybody was with it, So once we gave each other the nod, it's like, okay, let's go. We didn't need to take no extras. We didn't take no extra luggage. We just went out there and just handled business. What we did do initially, like we didn't expect to stay with him. We expected to stay in a hotel. But because he was working on several projects at the time, he didn't have time to do all the hotel stuff. So that it just worked out like that. He came to us and was like, yo, listen, man, I didn't have the time, I didn't have a chance to do this, to work this out. So we was like, all right, cool. So he's like, yo, y'all mind just staying here for the night? He's like, yeah, sure. Now we hang out. We ain't going to do nothing but go to the hotel, watch no TV. We really want to go to the studio. He's like, oh, what? Fuck. He was trying to be so hospitable. He didn't want to just say, yo, let's go right to the studio. We like, man, we want to go right to the studio. We ain't with all that cooling shit, just relaxing, getting airplane shit. Let's go. So he's like, okay, good. So we went right. We right to the spot, and that was every night. Every night we could possibly be in there, we was in the studio, there was very little partying. He had a couple of spots he had to go to, make some appearances and what have you, but, it was a real inviting vibe, you had to be open for it,
Right. And when you guys did go into the studio, can you recall what the first track you guys did together? Which one that was?
Absolutely not. It was either something like Brothers at Arms. I know when we first walked in the studio, I think we seen Greg Nice was in the booth. And this kid named LS from Jersey. I forgot the name of the group that he was in the 90s. But they was in the booth going in, so when they seen us, they was like, oh, shit, New York Cats is in the building, so it was official. Then some of the Outlaws was there. So when we saw them, it was really just on and popping. Spliffs being rolled, Henny being poured out, it was on. And excitement was crazy. So it's hard to kind of remember because Pac was into it, but he also was focused in the music. So he was like, yo, he had a couple of beats, he had the engineer throw on some tracks, and he was definitely like, this one right here. He had his raps like ready. He was like always the first one finished with his rhymes and shit. He'll go in and kick something off, and you basically had to get your shit, write your raps if you want to get on this tune. After like the first two songs doing it like that, we had a meeting. Duck Down Cats had a meeting. He's like, yo, we gotta pull Pac to the side and talk to him and let him know that we don't just want to jump on songs with a bunch of dudes. We want to make some tunes with this man. You know what I mean? Some solid, sit down and make some solid songs, some solid concepts. Boot Camp 2Pac or Boot Camp Outlaw, something like that. So,
or it wasn't just like posse cuts. It was cuts with you guys and Pac.
Yeah,
just
right.
Okay.
So when it got to that point, then we started making songs. Like Brothers at Arms was one of the first songs because we had actually pulled Pac to the side and we was like, yo, we want to make a song. Like we want to have a bunch of, posse joints. We want to make a song. We want to make some dope songs. So the first
reaction to that was he cool with that?
Yeah, he was very receptive. He appreciated the fact that somebody was taking the initiative because, you know, this is Tupac. Everybody's going to expect Tupac to take that leadership role and tell everybody what to do. You go here, you do this, write about this, da da da. He was almost like, I would say the opposite. He was more democratic. Saying like when the beat come on, he was like, yo, it was one point when we rhymed to everything in the studio. So he's like, yo, who got beats? Anybody got any more beats? Like we did, you know, Dad's rhymed to them just already. And LS was like, oh, I got beats. He like, you got beats this whole time, you goat head mother, you goat mouth mother. That was his say, like goat mouth. Like he was, you know, he had mad jokes. But, you know, loosen up the tension in the studio, and not that it was any, but, it was a good vibe, man. And when we pulled him to the side, he was receptive to it to the point where it's like, he was almost like he was a part of the boot camp. I mean, I would go for it, say, yeah, he's definitely part of the boot camp, but it felt like, you know, that mentality was already his. He was used to that. He was used to building with cats that was about putting shit together. So that what made our connection even more tight. And when we stayed in his crib, it was even more natural because it's like, all right, these cats is on the vibe that I'm on. Because there was other people out there that was staying in hotels and they was, you know, calling his cell phone and doing stuff. Like we was just like, you know, on some straight up maxed out, you know what I mean? Like wherever we gonna roll, however we gonna roll, like ready to roll type vibe. And he knew we had a strong team, so it was real comfortable, let's say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.